Hi everybody, my name is Karley Chynces and I'm a global commercial real estate advisor here in Miami, Florida. So I want to share a little personal story about not giving up. And when one door closes, another one always opens. Even though that sounds extremely cliche, it's true. Because it happens to all of us, whether we realize it or we don't. We're always so caught up in the moment and we're thinking, why is this happening now? Why is this opportunity not working out for me? Why is it just not gonna happen? And you just never know why that reason is until it actually happens. 7 or 8 months ago, I was working on a deal with some tenants. I was representing them. They had called me about a location that our team was representing, and they loved the property. We showed it to them. We met with the owner and we tried everything that we could to make a deal happen because they were just extremely qualified. They're a national company. They have locations in all of Florida for this particular business. And then for their other businesses, they have business and locations across the entire United States. So to have somebody like that in your property and in your portfolio just screams yes all around, because everybody wants to represent a very big tenant. And it's a flagship. It's great for both the landlord and the tenant. Everybody benefits. And I was extremely excited about it. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be such a great deal. I was still like relatively new in the industry. This is gonna be like my first like very big lease that I was doing. And I was doing everything I could to make it happen. I researched, I knew my numbers, I knew the market. I was able to answer every single question they knew just because I was doing it very much so for them, but a lot for myself. I just wanted to prove to myself, like, I always need to be prepared, and there's never a question that I want to be able to say I don't know to. I want to be able to answer every single question with a fact and with proof behind it. So then after we were working together, we were doing everything, we weren't able to come to terms because the landlord and the tenant, we just couldn't come to a mutually beneficial agreement for both parties to benefit from each other. So we said all of our peaceful goodbyes, and then at the end of the meeting, we thought we were gonna make it happen. We couldn't do it, and it happens. There's no hard feelings about it. It's just you hear no a lot more than you hear yes, and you just have to continue on to the next property. So then I told them, and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed working with you. I would like to continue to keep our professional relationship. Can I offer my services in helping you find another space? I can help you what you're looking for. I know that it didn't work out in our property, but I'm sure we can make it work out somewhere else. And they told me, they're like, no, thank you, but we don't like to work with any agents, and we don't like to work with brokers. And I go, oh, okay, and how come? And they said, oh, we just like to represent ourselves. We've never liked having anybody represent us just because we feel like nobody can sell us the way that we sell ourselves. And I said, okay, but I didn't want to be too pushy either. They're very firm people, very successful, who have many businesses across the United States and specifically in Florida. And I didn't want to push it too far because I didn't want to ruin the relationship with them. So I said, you know what? Let me just let them be. They've already done many businesses before and they tend to know what they're doing, and you can't always get a yes out of every single situation. And yes, I was very bummed out about it because I was very excited to do this deal. I wanted to have these people as a client, but it just didn't work out. And I said, you know what? One door closes because 2 more are gonna open for me. So fast forward a few months later, and the CEO of the company calls me. And of course, I picked up the phone. I was about to walk into a meeting, but I was like, let me just answer the phone to see what he wants. He might come back. He might want to take the space again. I was here extremely optimistic that he was going to just have a change of heart and want the original space that we had worked with them with just a couple months ago. Maybe they couldn't find anything else. So then I answer the phone. I ask him how he's doing, if they found a space in the area that they were looking for, and they said yes, that they ended up going in XYZ property. And then I was like, oh, that's great. Congratulations. That's going to be a great space for you. You're going to be very successful. I wish you all the best. And then he told me, he's like, the reason why I called you is because we're looking to expand into many locations. We have many people who have been buying our franchises at a very rapid rate, and it has come to the point where we can't represent ourselves anymore. And I was like, oh, are you reaching out to me because you need help? And they said, yes, we would like you to be our exclusive broker in helping us with all of our locations in Florida. And I was like, wow. The first thing I said was, thank you so much. I'm honored. What was your change of heart about? And they said, oh, you were the only person that we have ever met that was truly watching out for us and for our business. And never one instance I gave them the impression that I was just watching out for myself. I was just watching out for one side of the transaction. I was always on their side, trying to make the deal work in their best interest. And they told me that my knowledge, my professionalism, and most importantly, that I made them feel that they were first over everything else was what made them want to come back and decide to work with me out of the 70 brokers that they have worked with in the past. So when the company came back to me, I was super excited. I was like, oh my God, like, I guess I'm really good at my job. I'm doing something right. For such a big company to want me to represent them out of all the other people out there, it just makes me feel like I'm doing something good and I'm doing something right. And whatever my ethic was that I did with them months prior to what I'm doing today is commendable to them, because they're gonna refer me many business in the future. And at the time, even though we did not make that deal go through, it's not always about the deals that go through, but it's about the ones that don't go through. And in this situation, even though we never did business together, it was my knowledge, my perseverance, and my ethic towards them that made them want to come back to me to represent them in the future. So I had to go through an interview process with them and with the entire team to be able to get the exclusivity. But it's one of those feelings that it's not because one door closed and another one opened. It's because many, many doors opened down the line. And I know that it doesn't matter how young you are, if you're a man or if you're a woman, if you're Hispanic or American, it's who you contribute towards your clients. And what I learned from this was that my client always comes first. And if I put them before I put myself, and if I'm always watching out in their best interest, it's gonna always make them be a return customer and a return client and a referral one as well. So you can never get down when something doesn't go through. Yes, I was upset, but I continued to move forward. And now I'm ecstatic because I represent a great client. I have them in my portfolio. They have sent me many business from their colleagues, from their partners, just from people in their sphere of influence. And I'm super happy about it. And this is just a message to you that just because a door closes, because another one is about to open, whether you know it and you don't know it, it always, always opens. And it opens in multiple ways, not just one, but in 100. So I hope that gives you some inspiration to never give up, ever, because one door closes, 100 are gonna open, mark my word. And I'm Karley Chynces, a commercial real estate advisor with One Sotheby's International Realty. You know where to find me on my social.